Night number 5 and still no sign of Robert Wood.
Teams were in the woods.
Robert Wood Jr. has been found and reunited with his family.
The 6-day search for Robert Wood Jr., a 9-year-old boy with autism, had a happy ending, but the search continues for an answer about autism and why this disorder continues to baffle both researchers and doctors.
Is this going to stop? When's this going to stop? This has to stop.
Tony and Tracy Ramirez also have a 9-year-old son with autism. Nico Ramirez was born with Down syndrome, but it wasn't until he turned 6 when Tony and Tracy realized their son was also autistic.
We thought he was being naughty and wouldn't read for us anymore. And we couldn't figure out what was wrong. And we finally took him to the doctor. And I can remember when the doctor told me, "I think your son has autism." I thought he was crazy. I thought, this guy's nuts. There's no way.
The number of parents getting similar news is at an all-time high. In the U.S., 1 out of every 110 children develops autism, according to the Centers for Disease Control. But based on statistics from the U.S. Department of Education, the number of cases is even more startling. 1 in every 67 children. So why the increase?
I think of these children as the canaries in the coal mine, telling us we need to clean up our environment.
Richmond pediatrician Dr. Mary Mexon is declaring autism an epidemic. She's been studying the disorder for decades and says based on her findings, environment and genetics are the culprits. Dr. Mexon believes pathways in the brains of many autistic children are blocked because their bodies can't dispose of harmful toxins like typical children can.
I think the children have a weakness in the way cells communicate with each other, and then we're adding other weaknesses through overuse of antibiotics, some toxins in our vaccines, a lot of different environmental influences, toxins in our foods.
Food is where Dr. Mexon believes both prevention and treatment may begin. She looks at what nutrients a child needs, which Dr. Mexon tells us is usually found in organic foods and breast milk. She also prescribes cod liver oil to some patients, a natural form of vitamin A protecting against illnesses. Dr. Mexon admits her diet-based method is controversial, but can reverse some symptoms of autism in some cases. She told CBS 6 News she saw its effect on a nonverbal boy who took 1 teaspoon of cod liver oil a day.
He came back to see me 3 weeks later. I walked in the room and I was telling his mother, "Leave me alone, I get up on this table by myself."
That is not my personal way of dealing with things.
Contrarily, Dr. Susan Pillsbury David with Pediatric Health Group and the co-author of 2 books about autism says behavior therapy is what appears to be most successful when it comes to reversing some symptoms of autism. The therapy involves recognizing when an autistic child is about to act unpleasantly.
Anticipate that, nip it in the bud, redirect the child to more appropriate behaviors.
Dr. Pillsbury David goes on to say, based on millions of dollars in research, there's no evidence to suggest that autism is caused by the environment, only genetics. She says part of the alarming rise is due to children being reclassified from a previous disorder.
Because their behavior was mysterious and sometimes extreme, temper tantrums and so forth, people would throw around notions like bipolar disorder.
As for Nico, his parents say a little medicine and behavior therapy are making all the difference.
We've been able to see old signs of the Nico we once knew come out, the happy boy, the sweet, funny child that we once knew.
When we discovered that Nico could make a choice, we never knew that. You know, he's nonverbal, and we'd just give him something to drink for breakfast. And when we discovered that he could make a choice, "Nico, do you want juice or do you want milk?" And he'd tell you which one. It was great for us. We're like, wow, we're communicating with our son.
However, Tony and Tracy Ramirez recognize the process of getting their son back will likely take a lifetime. In Hanover, I'm Lorenzo Hall for CBS 6 News.